It is now dinner time. I'm getting pretty tired. It's cooled down quite a bit, so I put a little bit heavier jacket on, turned the heat off a while ago, and I have got my big bowl of beef and pasta. So my grandmother, Grandma Hale, on my mom's side, would make this. I was born in 1960, and until about 1966, my grandmother and my step-grandfather Shell lived on a ranch, well, about 20 miles from here, so way up in the mountains in a cabin. They didn't even have electricity till 1951 when Mom graduated high school. I can remember we always had big dinners for Thanksgiving and Christmas, well, those two, and maybe Memorial Day. People would come from everywhere, and we would have big Christmas type dinners. And this was a dish that my grandmother made, and I loved it. And all it is, and I asked my mother what it was after Grandma died, and she said that it was just beef broth, pasta of course, and then she would have some kind of meat in it, whether it's beef, which is what I use, pork, or venison, because Shell hunted deer up there on the ranch. So yeah, it can be just any kind of meat. I just saute the meat up with quite a bit of pepper. I used to use salt in it, but I find the beef broth itself to be plenty salty these days. But as I get older, I don't put salt on anything anymore because it just doesn't need it. So, and that's good. But I put quite a bit of black pepper, saute the meat up pretty good, and then start adding beef broth and let it boil for at least 2 hours, and just slowly boil till that meat just kind of starts to all fall apart. And then put the pasta in, and it don't take long after that. You want to stop cooking it when the pasta is pretty al dente, and meaning pretty firm, because it's going to sit in there quite a while and stay hot. It's just a really nice meal. I make this probably a dozen times a year, and always have. So we're going to get on. What are we going to watch today? I'll eat my dinner. We're going to watch a YouTube channel that I am very much attached to, and that's Matt's Off-Road Recovery. I've been subscribed to him for several years now, and I'm not an off-road guy. I used to ride dirt bikes and stuff, but I've never owned a four-wheel drive. But I have built cars, and I built a really nice 72 Chevelle when I was in my 20s, early 20s, still living at home. And in a video not too long ago when I did the house at the bottom of the cemetery, which is where I grew up, I included some pictures in the first video that I made for it, and YouTube removed the music that I had for the slideshow, and so I redid it and added royalty-free music, and now so there's two versions of it. One doesn't have music, and the second one does. And so it's a re-upload, but in there you'll see pictures of the 72 Chevelle that I bought for $600. Brought it home, needed a lot of work, and then a few years later it was all done with nice new chrome wheels on it, and paint job, and super sport stripes, and all the rest. So if you look at that video, you'll see that car that I built so long ago. I have not owned it since 1998. 25 years ago. All right, so what we're going to watch today is the last one I watched was that one right there, and that's Matt and his wife Jamie going out on a rescue. So this is the one I haven't seen. Is this a sign to come for the world's largest off-road wrecker? He's building a large off-road wrecker, and we'll see it. So let's go ahead and start it. This video is going to be like 49 minutes long, so we won't get to watch it all here. I'll get to watch it, so I'd highly recommend checking out Matt. Whoops, it's kind of already started there.
Good morning. It is another day of working in the shop. We are working on the heavy roker. Look at Tom. He's already on it.
Matt's off-road recovery.
I am building mounts for the seats. The brackets reinforcements in the floor so they don't rip out when we crash at King of the Hammers.
When we crash? Yeah, that was too dark. He's putting seatbelts in so that we can pass tech at King of the Hammers.
Oh, that sounded way better.
All right, what are we working on?
We're going to be working on pedals on the other side.
Lizzie, I've got this pattern. I think this is what we want.
Ooh.
So this is gonna
I don't do any kind of work like this anymore. I used to have a double garage with tools and toys and stuff. That's long gone now. This is so good.
That's what we're going to be hanging it off of. But we're going to need more strength on it. All right. I need to get the master cylinder off so I can get the brake booster, because we're going to have to modify the rod that goes into that to our homemade pedal. We're going to be doing what we did on the Morbear. Come out here, I'll show you. So right here, you can see we've got 2 3/4 inch heim joints, the rod down. So we're looking at about 4 inches of difference from the plate to where it goes through. So that's what we'll do on this one. We'll do 4 inches. It seemed to work. Morbear's got
Got my glass of milk.
You know how to make the shop warm? Go out there. We need this up about 4 inches from the center line of the master cylinder. That's going to do it right there. So we're going to figure out what we need here, because this is not correct.
I was holding the camera.
So for some reason, maybe somebody can let us know. We have these heat pumps. Whenever the wind's blowing, they just give up. They just stop. So they'll work just fine until the temperature gets down, and then they just stop and they start blowing cold air if they kick on at all. So the thermostat set at 70, it's 56 degrees. The wind's blowing, so it's freezing in here. The second the wind stops, they'll start blowing hot air. So if you can tell me why they would do that. They're not the only ones. We had a gas furnace in here that did exactly the same thing. If it dropped down, like if it was like 10 degrees less than the thermostat was set at, then it would just give up and turn off. Anybody in the heating and air conditioning that can tell us what in the world is going on, we would appreciate it. All right, back to the problem at hand. There's the problem at hand. All right, this is how this is going to go. Once it's the right length, we might put some JB weld in here and press it in so that it's not loose, but it'll work. Okay. Tom, you need to stop everything you're doing. All right, we've got the off-road record games coming up March 9th, 10th, and 11th, and one thing that I want to talk to you about today is the athletes that are going to be participating in this, and these athletes are high level. The amount of physical and mental preparation it takes to compete and participate in an event this prestigious is off the hook. So let me show you some of the things that I've been doing to prepare myself physically for this event.
Stupid.
All right, that's one of the ways that I prepare. Let's go check on Merlin and see what he's
They're
doing.
quite entertaining bunch, for sure.
Keep going.
I don't know who this guy is.
Let's check in on Paul, see what his regimen looks like.
Hey, Paul, what you doing?
He's training for
I
the
am
record
subscribed to
games.
Fabrat, so
Look at what Eric's doing.
What? You're supposed to be training for the games.
yeah, I don't know this guy either.
50 more squats. On that rope.
Top deal. All right, let's see if Rory can beat that. Get ready for the record games.
I am subscribed to Rory. He's
Come out
pretty
and check
funny.
us out, March 9th, 10th, and 11th.
So that's probably how we get ready for the off-road record games. Can't wait to see you there March 9th, 10th, and 11th.
They're really not that
There's a
far
nice
from me.
plate.
They're in Hurricane,
316.
Utah. That's quite a ways away, but
All my,
not that far.
because that's how thick it is. If it's 3/16 thick, it looks 3/16 thick. This is what we want. This is an 1/8 inch, and this will do what we need. All right, we'll just set this on the ground. I'm gonna make a part out of cardboard. Tom, are you done with this?
I'm also subscribed to Matt's son, who is Rudy's Off-Road Adventures.
I heard that.
All right, so what I'm doing here is this is where the master cylinder bolts on, the boost or whatever. That whole assembly bolts on here, and it needs to be pretty strong. We've got some good structure on this side, but it's just one layer, sheet metal layer. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna build a plate out of some 1/8 inch. For those of you that use the metric system, it's about that many millimeters.
3 millimeters.
Stay away from my wife.
We sure did. We got them drill bitted out.
Drill bitted out.
Now we're gonna.
I would say something like that.
We're gonna do something with this middle one. All right, we're gonna see if there's an improvement. All right, there was an improvement.
It's going to be
We're
hot.
still not good at it. So we're gonna show you what Tom's been working on while I go clean this up.
So right back here, I'm welding these onto the seats. I don't know if that's kosher, but that's how we're doing it. I'm just welding these little brackets down here so I can put seat belt brackets right here on the side. I'll do the other side the exact same way. And then we got our chest mount harnesses that we put on the other day, and these will be the side straps. So we'll have 4-point harnesses when we're all done.
We're gonna be Loctited in there.
Oh yeah, tighter than any vehicle we've ever had.
I'm gonna drill some plug holes. So this is gonna go on there. Everywhere it's touching on the outside, we'll weld it, and then on the inside, we'll fill up some of these plug holes so that it's just all rigid and stays parallel with the cab and all the ways.
They've been working on this thing forever.
I'm over here trying to get the floppy wheel, but Matt's still using it.
Before this, they built the Morvair, which is a Corvair station wagon, now 4-wheel drive.
The plan is to make that one.
Did you guys hear that? Matt said the plan is to do something. I knew he was a planner.
I always have a plan.
He told me once you never have a plan.
But I do love when a plan comes together. I'm going to put these through, you're going to put those on, and then you're going to gently tighten them up. That looks really good.
You trying to disturbing you over there?
No, I'm just excited all the work that's happening right now. Okay, Lindsay's going to come out here and do the next phase. Okay, we're going to be doing some stitching around here.
I was able to get that other side a lot better than I thought I was gonna be able to.
That looks good. It's past quitting time, so we're gonna make Lizzie go home, and we're gonna see you back here tomorrow. Like what?
Like this.
All right, told you it'd be that fast. Actually, Lizzie told him.
Oh, she told him.
Yeah, she's not here yet because we came in early because.
And Matt said we weren't going to have any time to work on the record today, which was really depressing, so we came in early to work on the record.
Yeah. What are we working on?
I have a seat left to get in. This one I think is ready to go. That one I need to put in, see where to drill holes. Alright, I'm just marking the holes. Then I'll get it back out and you can do whatever you do.
All right.
Whatever it is you do with them.
That was a good dinner. I enjoyed that very much. So.